Hello friend, welcome back. In your previous video, I have discussed about how can working with the map and how can load that component list, right? I hope it's very much clear to you. Now in this video, I want to pass some of the method. Like here, that is one of the object data, another object data, and also there is another object data, right? I want to do when you click it on here, that means in our on change, into this on change area, I want to create another method, and with this method, I want to do and to delete it. When you click it, then specific this ID. So that is our array, all the data, right? So that is our 0 index, that is a 1 index, and that is a 2 index. So I want to do one by one, I want to delete it. So if you want to delete it for first time, we have to create one of the method. If you want to create this method, like before, I have already created one of that on change. So right now we don't need this for education purpose. I'm using like that way. So now we will make it little bit dynamic. Okay. So right now I simply remove this method. And now I want to call another method for the delete our book state. Okay, I make it as a delete, and then book is from to the state. So that is the delete book state. So now I want to create it. So that will be our array function. I simply loaded this array function. Great. And now we have to load it, right? We have to load this method in our which place right now, everything in our map. So into this map area, that is our book, right? So after that I want to take another property. I take another property as a delete. Okay, delete. So whatever the name actually you choose, right now I name it on the delete method. And into this delete method, now if you want to pass this method, then you have to do here, that is a delete. Here we have to pass it with this keyword and then our method name, right? So that is our method. Perfect. So I simply loaded this method in particular that position, and also that is our property name. So right now that will be executed in our book, right? Here I have already created one of the on click. So into this on click, now I want to access this property, our property name. I name it as a delete. So now here I want to access it with this props. I want to access that delete function. Okay. So now I simply pass it, because here I have that is one of the property. Into this property area, I loaded our method. Great. So right now, friend, everything in our one component, right? So if you now executed our delete book state, so now if you click one object area, then automatically it will be delete our all that object. So I don't want to do these things like that way. Here I want, because that is one of the array object data, and that is our 0 index, that is our 1 index, and that is our 2 index. So first of all, I want to get all that our index data. So if you go to our map, into this map, that will be passed two of this parameter. One is the item parameter, that means it will be get all that our object item data, which I name it as a book, whatever the name actually you choose. And also it will be passed another parameter as an index parameter. Okay, right now I want to do here with the first bracket, because there is a multiple array. So for the multiple array here, I want to use that as a first bracket, and now I want to declare our another parameter that will be as index. Okay, so index or I, whatever actually you choose. Right now I make it as an index. So this index means what? This index means our array, all that our indexing data. That means a 0 index, 1 index. So it should be get one by one everything, right? So for the reasons I want to do and to pass this index in our method. Okay, so that is our method. Into this method area, now I pass that index. That means right now it should be counting 0 index, or rather than that will be as a 1 index, rather than that will be as a 2 index, right? I hope you get some of the idea about it. So I simply pass this index in here. So if you want to pass this index here, we have to create one of the array function. So if you want to create this array function, first of all, I want to do that it was a first bracket, and then I want to create that array function. So right now that is one of the array function. So into this array function area, now with this I want to do and to pass our this indexing all the data in our this method area. Okay, friend, I hope every part is very much clear to you. So now we have to create some of the code for delete, because that is our method, and here I pass one of the parameter, our index parameter, right? So now we'll go to our method that I have created. So that is our delete book method. So into this delete book method, I pass that our index, right? So here you have to pass it in here. If that is only one parameter, for the reasons here we don't need this first bracket, you can also remove it. Okay, so now that is our index. So into this index area here, first time I want to do to get all that our state data. That means that is our state, all that our book property object data. So if you want to get it, like I take one of the variable as a constant variable, and then I name it as a books. Whatever the name actually choose, right? I name the same name as a books. Okay. And if you want to access this books property data, then that will be this, and then the state, and then the books. Right, so that is our with these states I use it, access it, and then I access that our property name as a books. I simply take that all that our object property data, and I take the things with this variable. And after that I want to delete one by one. Right, so one by one, if you want to delete it, then also there is another method as a splice method. Remember, I have already covered it. So now I want to do and to execute this. That means that will be our books. So with these books, and these books means that is actually our books. Okay, with these books I want to add that our method as a spellish. You can see there is a spellish method. Now with this spellish method, I want to do, first of all, I want to add that our index, and into this index I want to delete it by one. That means one element will be deleted. Okay, one by one it will be deleted. That means when you click it, then I want to delete it once. Okay, so for the reasons here I make it as a 1, and after that here also when it will be deleted, I want to set our new books data, because from to this position it will be deleted, right? And then it will be also updated in here. So if you want to do that work, you have to do with the set states method. If you want to access it, that will be this, and then the set states method. So with this set states method, we set again our all the data into the state, right? So that is our set states method. Here I want to do, I will simply run. That means I simply run our all that books. So these books will be replaced in our here, right? So that is our books. So now I want to do and to simply take it in here. Okay, friend, I hope every part is very much clear to you what exactly I have done, because when that will be changed, because with these books it will be splash one data. That means right now there is a 3 data, 1 data will be removed, right? So for the reasons I want to do our this total data, then I set again with the set states method in our set area, that is our books. So that is our books, and these books will be replaced with our this states property. That means our property will be changed now. That is totally dynamic. Okay, friend, I hope every part is very clear. So now if you want to check it, now click as a save all. I have already loaded our props data as a delete method. So now that should be executed. Now if you go, now refresh it. Now like there is a 3 object data, right? So now I want to there is a reach to 2. So I want to click it. Yes, you can see it's now successfully delete our 0 index data. If you click it, you can see it's also now one by one it's deleted. Okay, friend, I hope it's very clear. If you refresh it right now, all that our data, if you click it without loading, everything is working, and click it, it's also remove this data from here. I hope, friend, it's very much clear to you. So that is our total method. Here how can create some of the method, how can pass some of the method, right? So how can pass some of the method into the map area, how can pass that indexing. I hope you like it very much. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.